All right. I bet you weren't expecting to see me, were you? I have been asked by Mr. Ballard to fill in tonight, so you'll have to put up with me. But let me bring in the rest of his crew here. If I can remember how to work these buttons. Here we go. We got old Paul, young Paul, and Mr. Klondike. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good.
I was taking a shot with the music that he plays right after the initial countdown. I wasn't sure about that button, but I hit one and it worked. So that apparently was the right one. But anyway, welcome to Making It Up as We Go. Like I said, I'm filling in for Ryan tonight. He's got some things going on and asked me if I'd fill in. So, well, actually, he asked me if could join the group and BS, and I said, well, I can BS with the best of them. So here we are. So, Paul, I'm trying. I've watched the show. I watch the show every Saturday, so I think I can maybe just pretend I'm Ryan. And what have you got going on?
I've been busy at work on my Gatton Christmas challenge, and
Hot diggity.
it's been keeping me busy, and that's about all I've had time to work on. And I want to work on that cross project that I have the file for that you know about, and
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't got around to it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll get some time. You'll get some
Oh
time.
yeah,
All right. How about you, Sean? What you got new going on?
Oh, I've been playing with my trains again. I'm working
Yeah.
on Hex Track, something new. I just added to the website. A little shameless plug there. Klondike.com, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any banners or anything for that? No, I guess not. No banner set up. Okay.
It's
Yeah. How is that doing? Is it taking off like you thought?
the hexes are slowly taking off. It's something new for the States. It's been over the UK and Japan for a while. So hopefully soon it'll start slowly rolling.
Okay. All righty. And Mr. Hammerquist, what have you got exciting going on this week?
Well, normally I would love to do show and tell, but I would like to dedicate my time this tonight to my daughter. Um, for the past several months, she's been in robotics and she's faced a lot of trials and having to rebuild her robots. And she asked me not to go into too many specifics, but she had a rough day today. So I just wanted to say I love her. She did awesome. Um, Here's her robot that she built.
Oh, that's cool.
And she did an amazing job. It had gotten broken a couple weeks ago. Some kid just dropped it, broke it, and so she had to go and fix it. She fixed it and had it ready for this competition. Um, but I will say, the girls' teams, both of them, had their robots ready. The
Well,
boys'
good.
team, not so much. Don't piss off Daddy Bear.
Mm.
Love you, baby girl.
now did she 3D print that entire robot, or
No, they have kits that they use that they have to use for these competitions around here. So it's a racket, but hey, they get to play with robots, and
it's
she
a
built
learning
it.
process? That's what's important.
Yeah, and she also programmed. So she did the building and programming on that one.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Hmm. All right. Well, cool. Good deal. Well, normally Ryan has some videos to talk about and stuff like that, but I don't know anything about that. So, and I don't think he's got the links and stuff put in there. He's probably going to save those for next week when he's back. But um, anyway, we'll find something to talk about. Um,
I have a few videos sitting aside.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wing it here and show us what you got, Sean.
Well, I figure since it's the four of us and it's a little bit different tonight, um, what about ourselves? So first up is, oops, let's see if I can switch this over.
All right. Tell
Yeah,
me what you need me to do, Sean.
right there. Well, we're actually good. We have Dave's show.
Do you need to be made full screen? There
Let's
you go.
yeah, let's do it like
There we go.
like that there.
So what do we got going on here, Dave?
Well, this is just my little CNC Q&A live stream that I do on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. I've been doing those for I don't know. I think this last one was number 11, so about 11 weeks or so. And basically, just sometimes I'll be working on a project. Sometimes I'll just be trying to show how to do something. In this particular episode, I was updating the firmware on the that new offline controller that NEMA Labs has, and they've still got a bug in it. If you watched last Wednesday, you know that it's better, but there's still one thing that is a pet peeve of mine that they haven't addressed yet. So hopefully, NEMA Labs was watching that episode, and we'll get right on that. So,
That's pretty cool.
but yeah, that's and I recognize that guy on the right. He helps me out sometime, as well as Mr. Corliss. He will help me out from time to time too. So
Hmm. I need to sneak on your show one of these Wednesdays. For me on Wednesdays, I actually spend time with my nephew.
yeah,
Um, he's a vet, Iraq, so it's kind of a good special time for him and I.
yeah,
But yeah, I'll be able to sneak on. I hope.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't worry about dropping that for this for this show, because it's like I said, it's just a little live stream that I've been doing, and just trying to help out some newbies that might have questions about CNC, or in particular the NEMA Labs machines.
Other than Nebo Labs, it's also Vectric, correct? You talk about Vectric and other.
Well, I talk about that only because I use it. So when I'm showing them how I do something, it's using Vectric, but I don't claim to be any kind of expert on Vectric. I know enough to be dangerous, and that's it. You know, when I go to do something, if I haven't done it before, I either watch videos or just keep playing around with it till I learn it myself, and then after 3 or 4 days, I've probably forgotten it again. But yeah, don't really claim to be a Vectric person. Just
Well, excuse me. How long have you been playing with Vectric though?
the first version of Vectric I got was in 2007. I think it was version 4.6, and they're on 12 now. So,
Way longer.
but like I said, but I don't. I'm not. You know, you could say I'm a hobbyist, but I'm not really even a hobbyist because I don't run that much stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't like to just go out and make stuff just for the you know for the heck of it. I like making stuff because I need something. I need to make something. So,
Oh, cool.
but
We're getting asked what your channel is from Andy Bisley.
you're what?
We're being asked what your channel is.
Oh, well, that channel is it's a real catchy name. It's just called Dave Gatton. Yeah, that's that YouTube channel. Same one I've always done.
I'll throw it in the chat here.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, let's switch that one off. Uh-oh. Well, we can switch to. Oh, wait a minute. I have another one.
Mm-hmm.
The hammer. Paul. This is Paul's. Now, this is Paul's latest.
Oh, today's video should have come out a month ago. But
Well, it gives you hands on.
yeah, and I didn't really even talk about that. This was really just more, buying used, kind of what things to look for, doing the math. You know, it it's funny because a lot of this was filmed probably 2 weeks ago, and I just got to edit it this last week. So, but yeah, it's just me buying the K1 Max and navigating Facebook Marketplace and trying to throw some jokes in there and have a little bit of humor. It's fake. Um, there are some dumb accents I try to do and characters. So, but overall, when I bought it, I think it came out to, I saved like $505. And then after I had to get the upgrades, it came down to like 430. And then, but if I had done it today, you know, I would only have made, saved like $330.
Oh, the black. What is it? The Black Friday specials.
No, just because back when I bought it, the list price was 809. Now it's 679 because of the K2 coming out. So big price drop. But, hopefully now on Facebook Market, as more and more people gear up to buy that, the price of K1 Maxes will drop.
Oh, cool.
Now, when you say K2, Paul, you're talking about the one they have with they don't call it AMS, but their version of an AMS.
What is it? CRT or CRF or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, so that one. So I'm interested though to see how they'll turn the K1 into to be able to use that, or if it'll be able to.
See, and then I've got the same question on that one, just due to the fact is how does it cut the filament?
Yeah,
You have to replace the head, like the print head.
that's pretty much all I can think. Otherwise, because I mean, it's already a pain changing it out, unless I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because you got to take off the glass top, you got to go in there, pop it open, extract, and then you still have to pull it all the way out. It's not like it actually shoots it all the way out. And then where's it going to poop?
True. Well, there's plenty of space down below, I guess, right? So be inside.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, like some of the prints I've done, like the like this one, there was a massive amount of poop. It's like an elephant came in there, and so if it's just dropping in the bottom there, and if it's a really tall print, the bed's gonna run into all that. So
Something that we'll figure out as time goes on.
yeah, but it's a fun, goofy little video. Hopefully, I will get to comparing the K1 and the P1S together, but I have to get out into the garage.
Ah, your pew pew?
Yes, the pew pew. I have a box full of parts for the first part of my Gatton Christmas challenge. So, got to get out to the garage to do the second part.
I'm feeling, you know what? Out of the guys, I feel bad. I haven't even started yet. I haven't picked a project yet. Dave, I apologize. I hope not to. Been a little busy.
All right.
Oh, cool. We'll flip over to. Where'd it go? Oh, Paul, did I lose you?
Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh, look at there.
There he is.
There he is.
This is Paul's last video.
Yep. That was my Gatton Christmas challenge.
What can you tell us about it?
I can tell you that Dave gave me that laser right there.
Oh, the
And I was having trouble cutting through quarter-inch MDF with it. And so I had to go to plan B, and I cut it out with a CNC. And that was just the backer for it. After I cut the backer, then I cut all the little pieces on I think I cut them on the laser, if I remember right, out of 1/8" Baltic birch. I'll have to get there and see, but I believe that's how I did it. And fit them all, and it was a process that I learned from Dave. He made a couple of those where you just cut all the little. Oh, I guess I did cut them on the CNC. You cut all the little pieces and fit them, and then paint each piece individually and put it in place, and give it a final coat to seal it. And
So you
get
kind of mega sized it then.
yeah, yeah. I could have mega sized. Yeah, but it was fun making it. It really was. It was my first attempt at making anything like that. And it was nice that it was in individual pieces because I'm a terrible painter. And that way you're only painting one color at a time.
Okay.
And it makes you look like an artist.
Yeah, it's a great way to do stuff. You can lay all the same color out, and if you're using rattle can, you can knock them out in a hurry.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about staying inside the lines.
that's right. That's right.
Which I'm terrible at.
I think those were some little pieces that I didn't want to try cutting on the CNC.
What material was that out of?
That was out of Baltic birch.
Baltic birch.
Yep. And then I primed everything, and then went back and there I covered it up so people couldn't see what it was. But that was the outline. Everything there was black, and it was like the outline where all the pieces fit. And you end up with so many pieces. Boy, it's a nightmare trying to figure out where some of them go.
Yeah, we saw some of Dave's projects where they're real small pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times I'd have to go back and recut some of the little bitty ones because I'd lose them.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, don't even know I'm missing them until I get ready to put it all together, and then you have to run out there and cut something and then paint it real quick.
But after I built that, and after the challenge, my daughter saw it and says, "Oh, can I have that for my office?" So I don't even have it here anymore.
I went to a good home.
Yeah.
Hey,
So she has it in her office.
mine never came down.
No.
That was pretty good. Minion. All right. Well, cool. Dave, it's all you.
Okay. Well, I guess since you were talking about the challenge, I know Ryan's got some stuff here. I'm just going to hit buttons at random. We'll see what pops up here. I think. Okay, this is the one he has for the list of sponsors. You guys know better than I what he's got, but Nemo Labs and Pixel CNC, Wham Bam. I'm not sure what they're donating.
Gift card so you can choose.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Paul. Rapid Change ATC. Again, I don't know for sure what it is, but I don't have a list in front of me.
That is their tool changer that they're giving away, and you must have a spindle for that to work. So
Oh
Okay.
wow, cool.
Okay. All right. And then Mr. Awesome here, Cody Elkins from is doing some Genie bits, I guess. So some great sponsors so far, and I think our buddy Ryan is still working on some of those. So that's a good deal. So let's see if he's got a thing to. I don't see one.
well, it's 6
Oh, look,
days.
what's that?
6 days is when it officially opens.
Okay, yeah, I was looking to see if he had a banner or something to show where he's talking about it, but just go to Ryan's website. That's www.rballarddesigns.com, and you'll see a page that has the Christmas challenge on there, and you can click on that and read about what you need to do to enter. And I know there's more than just one way to enter. You can do either a big Chris, Christmas project, or if you don't have that kind of time, you can make an ornament and enter that in kind of a secondary thing, I think. So go check it out. Again, that's www.ballarddesigns.com, and that would do it, I think. All right, let's see if I can get everybody in here. There he is.
Sean's in the ether.
Oh,
There
did
we
I
go.
did I knock him out? Okay, I guess I did. I must have hit the wrong button. All right, now we look like the Brady Bunch again.
That way. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was trying to watch the chat over here. I was seeing somebody had some comments about Paul here.
Looking like Dr. Rodney McKay.
Yeah.
Stargate.
Wow.
It's the second best of the stars. Star Trek, Stargate, Star Wars. I'm right. No more debates over.
Okay. Well, I don't know much any of the stuff about that. Okay. Here's Johnny on the spot here, Paul. He's got the link here to the Christmas challenge right there. So appreciate that. All right. Well, we've been on here about 30 minutes. What are we going to do to kill some more time?
Well, I'd like to see what Paul built this week, what he used all his PLA for. He,
Oh,
he's usually got some stuff that just blows your mind.
is this the final frontier where only?
Only the brave go.
All right. Let me
That's
switch.
not your poop box, is it, Paul?
No, this is the part box for the Enterprise D. Sorry, I forgot my
Wow.
mic's all the way over there.
So D is when they change it to where only. Let's see, to boldly go where only. Let's see, not man. They switched it. To,
one.
Ah.
And here's the Gatton project
Oh,
so far for the Christmas challenge. And then they're not done, but
Ha ha ha.
Tom the Turkey. Got a bunch of those for work and for family.
Al Forte wants to know if your Enterprise is the 4-foot model.
3 foot. And yeah, 3 feet. I can't remember if I did it 3 feet wide or 3 feet long.
oh wow.
And I used Lubon It's pretty interesting software. Um, Bunch of different ways you can kind of explode a model out. I tried doing the Enterprise D in Bamboo Studios, but it was taking 10, 15 minutes to do the cut. So with Lubon, you can say, hey, I want this many connectors and everything. It'll put numbers on all the pieces if you want it. So, and you just put it all together. Not every piece that explodes out like that has a connector. So it makes it to where, let's say, the top part would have all the connectors, and then like 2 or 3 pieces will have connectors to go in the part that goes in below it.
You know
So
how to spell that?
Luban, Luban, I believe. It is not your typical software. It's going to say, uh, this is a virus. It's not.
Oh,
It's and I just put it in the chat as well. Um, but it is I don't know if it's done in Python or Java, but it's, I think it's just 1 or 2 guys that work on it. So you have to go in and you don't like really technically install it.
it's an online program.
No, it's you download it. I mean, you got to get it from them. They have a free 30-day trial. I think it's $500 for what they call a USB. So you get it forever for 500, or it's like $100 a year.
Oh,
And then if I remember correctly, let's say you have it for 5 years, or you have it. Let's say you have it for 4 years, and you want to get the USB version, it would cost you $100. So however much money you've put in goes towards whatever license you're upgrading towards.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's the way I read it, and these companies. So if you're watching this in a year and they change it, that's not on me.
then you can get it 30 days for free, depending on how many email addresses you have. I didn't say that.
So you can try it out for free. It just won't let you export the model.
Oh,
So you can try it out that way as well, or you can go and get a license for 30 days.
That's cool.
And there's a bunch of other stuff, but it's all being actually used. So had to print a bunch of stuff for work, like paper towel holders and drawer things to hang bottles on drawers and stuff like that. Boring stuff.
do your printers ever cool down?
Actually, yes, because now I got the crypto whatever. What are they? The oh gosh, I can't remember. The blue pads. They're, oh my gosh, I forget what they even are now. But I can run them at 45 or 35 degrees. So they've been amazing so far. That's Tom the Turkey's been printed out on them, and I have not had to use any what do you call it, brims or anything like that.
There you go.
So, but I'll be doing a short on that probably in the next couple of days, just to talk about them, and then we'll see which ones it does better on TikTok or YouTube.
I'm kind of curious to know that one.
If it does good on TikTok, it does poor on YouTube. If it does good on YouTube, it does poor on TikTok.
Huh.
It's funny.
You know what? I didn't show this. I showed it, everybody else's.
Well, you didn't show your own.
No. Talked briefly about it. I was trying to hide in the background. There you go. This is working on my hex. This is actually a double. And after assembly, I did not assemble the double yet. on a video. This is last Wednesday's late coffee with moi, and pretty much, showing the hexagons together to give you an idea of how you can lay these out. The coolest thing is you're not stuck on one level now. You have 2 levels that you can run trains. And on these two, I'm getting ready to show how to bridge the gap. And there's a couple different ways on doing it. One, you can do it with a laser cut bridge. Or, of course, you can use the Kato track, and Kato has a couple bridges in that with. For me, I'm running out of room. Between the T-track, the minis, and now the hexes. I need to build an add-on to the house.
Now, John, how many different products do you now have available on your website?
I'm not exactly sure. Over, I'd say 2 dozen, maybe 2 dozen different products. And that's the different modules, like the T-track modules, the mini modules. I also have the hexagon now, which is on there except for the double. And the only reason why I'm holding off on that is the NMRA, which is the National Model Railroad Association. They're working on a standard for this. So the only reason why I don't have these on yet is I'm waiting for them to come up with a standard height, like from the tabletop to the top of the hexagon double. And once they get that figured out, I'll start selling these. I don't want to put these out and then have them come out with the standard that says 2 3/4 inches, and I make mine 3 inches tall. Then they won't interact with others.
Didn't I hear you say on one of your live streams that they have some of these in England or the UK?
The UK. Originally, I said that it started in the UK, but more research I did, it's more like Japan. I think Tomix is one of the first ones that I saw, but the UK has really, really went with this. And you can, if you go on to Facebook, or I believe I have a link in my last video, it goes right to their Facebook page. It's called the Hex Hive. And then we have let's see, Hex Track USA or Hex Hive USA, I believe. So it's coming into the U.S. There's a couple other manufacturers, other people that are doing.
Well, the reason I asked that is what height are they running with theirs?
See, I'm not 100% sure. They've told me, but it's like 60 millimeters off the rail, so it's not off the table. And my thought is, because we're using different materials, they're using 6 millimeter, as here I'm using 1/4 mil or 1/4 inch. So it's what, a millimeter off, millimeter and a half off, if I'm correct.
Well, 6 millimeters 0.236, so that's you're only talking about what, 14 thousandths there.
So it's not. I know it's not very much, but still, if we can keep it close. I suck at the math. That's what calculators are for. Hey, actually, I need to try that with the new AI. Let's see here. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with these, and then also doing the morning coffees. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I've had a good mentor, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
No,
because how many of those you've done now? You're up to. Oh, my stupid Alexa's talking back there. Shut up, sweetie. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, I don't know if you saw these. these are little containers I 3D printed out on the on both the bamboo and also the Creality. And I am just blown away with these new printers. And you don't really see the layer lines. And I printed these at 0.16.
Now, did you draw that too, or is that just a model you got from
I
somewhere?
cheated. I downloaded these.
Okay.
I wish I had more time to do a lot of these models.
Well, I'm always curious because I've looked at different models for different things on, Thingiverse and uh, Things, I think is one of, all those kind of sites. And I'm always wondering if when they create those things and they say, well, it's a certain scale, I wonder how accurate is it? I mean, are they really sticklers for the scale, or do they just get it close?
Well, on these, on the containers, they have to fit into an intermodal unit.
Hmm.
Certain rail cars that are designed to carry containers. So if it's out of spec, if it's a little too large, they won't fit in with the N scale train cars. So these
Okay.
pretty close to scale. I mean, really
Well,
close.
what is what size
Uh,
container
what
is
is it?
that supposed to be?
160. I think these are
Well,
one.
I mean in real feet. If it was a real container, how big would it be?
Oh, 40 foot. There's
48.
40 and two. Yeah. And then they do have 53 footers too. Those are the ones that are usually sitting on top of the inner models that are stretched out a little further.
Okay, so if it's 40 feet and in scale is 160, so 40 feet times 12, that's 480 divided by 160. So those should be exactly 3 inches long then.
No, if I can find my calipers. Oh, I think my boy borrowed my calipers. Shame on him. Uh,
Well, you know what? You can always just print them a pair now.
Pardon?
You can always print a pair now.
It looks like I'm going to have to.
For him, you get to keep the
Yeah.
good ones.
Oh, no. I found them. Actually, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Not on my desk and hanging up.
Oh,
Maybe
that's scary when you put stuff away.
well, I think he borrowed them off my desk and put them away for me. I'm not going to complain. Oh, and the battery's dead, of course. Really?
I had a company send me, and I did a review on it, some digital calipers,
Oh, I remember those.
and they work great. I mean, they're fine calipers, but I got to tell you, I hate digital calipers because every time I go to grab them and use them, the stinking battery's dead. That's why I love dial calipers. The battery doesn't ever go dead on these.
Well, luckily, I have a battery. Let's see if it's with my luck. It'll be a dead battery.
I always get the ones that turn off after like a minute.
Yeah, that's what mine do.
Yeah.
Well,
Me too.
most of them these days have that feature where they're supposed to turn off after so long, but it doesn't seem to matter with me. Every time I go to get them out of the case and use them, it's nothing. So,
At 2.98 inches.
okay, well, that's pretty dadgum close then.
Yeah. Saved by a battery. I'm going to have to let my boy know that he did good by putting them away from me.
But he'd have done better by putting a new battery in it.
Yeah. If you use it and it dies. What is it? He's 10 now, actually. So I won't ask too much from as far as that yet, unless I'm there.
Yeah, if you go watch Sean's live stream on Wednesday mornings, you also get to see the cool um, rail fan thing he has on the TV right behind him. So there it is. That's one of the better ones, I think, of the ones I've watched.
There we go. Yeah, I love that channel. That's pretty cool. Actually, and of all people, you pointed this one out to me.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Another one I like is I think it's Ashland. What is it? Ashland, Virginia, or something like that. It's kind of crazy because it goes kind of right through downtown, and if cars don't go the right way when the trains come and stuff's flashing, if they go ahead and turn down there, it's exciting to watch who's going to give because they're trying to play chicken with a train.
Oh, there's no winning with the train.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's okay. I don't know if I've told you about the Highway Hero bit. I drove a tractor trailer years ago. I still carry my license. And in New Mexico, a guy had a grand mal seizure. I'm going to make this short. Guy had a grand mal seizure, quit my truck, went across the interstate, went through the desert, ended up on some railroad tracks. Train coming down the tracks. And the train's at least 1.5 miles away, 2 miles. It's just all flat land out in New Mexico. And when he hit his brakes, luckily we pulled the guy out of the truck just before the train took the truck down the tracks. And he ended up going a whole nother mile past where the truck was. So yeah, they don't stop on a dime. Yeah, there's no playing chicken with those guys.
All right. Well, hopefully somebody will decide on a standard height on those things, and that's an easy fix because all you got to do is adjust the height of the walls, right?
Exactly. It'd
So
take me 2 minutes to take care of it.
yeah.
And where those holes are, a train can go through there, can it? There's clear.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I see
Yeah.
it. I see the track going in there now. Okay.
Just like a tunnel. That's what makes it really cool.
Yeah, and with the N scale, they're so small. There's plenty of headroom when that lower one goes through there,
Oh yeah,
or at least at the current height you have those.
yeah. And I think I'm close to where everyone else is yet, but just to be safe, I'm gonna wait. And from my understanding, they're coming out with the basics next week, and they'll be sending PDF files to both the Facebook groups, the
Yeah.
Hex Hive and also the Hex US.
Now, is there a reason why they would or wouldn't make the standard height for those things the same height as the other kind of modules?
Well, this is the only one that actually has 2 levels per se. The other modules, yes, there are standards for like the T-Track modules. Not so much for the minis, like the mini dioramas, but on the T-Track, you have a certain width. It's a single, double, or triple, or it can even expand past that. But it's set up to the Kato track, and each one's a little bit different. It's doubling up. It's a little over 12 inches. I forgot the exact off the top of my head. It's all written down. Depth wise, there's not a real standard on depth. Some guys, I've seen them, or I've cut some modules everywhere or anywhere from 6 inches to 17 inches deep. So I've done a couple of triples that were 17 inches deep, which made a really cool piece for the club.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess there are some groups that have ran a double level or created, which is cool. But I don't think there's a standard for 2 levels.
Okay.
Yeah. You have control, Dave.
Oh, well, I was waiting for you to cut that off.
Oh, there we go.
There. Now if I can, there we go. Right there. All right. Well, does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? Or I see Harry had a comment over here about digital calipers. Bought a set from Home Depot. I've had them for years and still on the same battery. That's
No.
that's amazing. And maybe that's what makes them go bad is if you just don't use them, because I don't use mine very often.
Oh,
And that's why I get so frustrated, because when I do finally go to pull them out, they don't work. So, and it's usually when I need to measure something in metric, it's just easier to use those. But what I usually, if the battery's dead, I end up measuring it this way and then just converting it to metric. So,
old tried and true.
yeah, I know one thing. The Bamboo Studio app or software, whatever you want to call it, that does a great job of scaling stuff, because everything I've done for this school building project that I've been working on,
Oh, can we see a sneak
I'm
peek of that?
I'm actually drawing it full scale. So when I say I'm doing the building, it's
The building.
the building. I've got, you know, like the longest wall is like about 84 feet long by about almost 30 feet tall. So I'm doing everything in full scale. And then when I go to save the STL file and pull it into, and I'm using Design Spark Mechanical to create the STL file. Well, then when I go to pull it in Bamboo Studio, it will go, "Hey, what are you doing? This is way too big. Do you want us to automatically scale it?" Well, you don't want to click yes, because if you click yes, they just scale it down so it'll fit on the thing, which isn't what I want. I want it to be a certain size. So what I do is I have to say, no, don't scale it. And then there's a scale button in Bamboo Studio. And when you click on that, then I'll just take my little calculator that I have handy on my desktop here, and I know what I need it to be. So I divide it out, do the math, and then plug that number in. And it usually comes out to be something like, 47.196, and then a whole string of threes or sixes or something like that. So I just put in as many as it will let me put in, and then hit enter, and it will size everything perfectly. And I haven't had any problem at all with all of these different walls and things mating up perfectly. And again, I showed you earlier, I'm doing the little finger joints with the bricks, and it's just working out fantastic. So really stoked about getting that P1S. I should have got one of those a long time ago.
You got to show everybody your brickwork after you put the mortar in and show them how it comes out.
Well, I can do that. I got it. Got this piece sitting right here that I showed y'all. This is, well,
It looks amazing.
let me show you the before shot. This is let's see if I can do this. This is a before shot. This would be like right off the printer. And I don't know if you can see I think I have to hold it really still for
There
that
you go.
camera to focus in, but you can see on the edges, you can see the half brick sticking out. That's the finger joint I'm talking about. And then this, again, I don't know how good you can see it with this camera, but it's making a little brick texture all across here. Well, what I did today is I took them out to the shop, and I used some spackling. I notice this one's got a blob right there. But I take some spackling and I rub it on there, and it goes down into what would be the mortar joints. and then I take a damp sponge and wipe it off, and then just take a shop towel and dry it. But you get this pretty cool look
It looks like brick.
It
Yeah.
of
does.
a brick. And if you're saying to yourself, man, those look really tiny, they are. They are at 1:48 scale, but everything I draw, like I said, I don't cheat and fudge some parts. I've noticed some guys that I've watched on YouTube when they're doing like an N scale or something, a building, because the N scale, the a brick in N scale would be just ridiculous. You wouldn't even be able to see it. So they kind of fudge and make the bricks bigger. But when I first got this P1S combo, one of the first things I did, and again, I don't have it here, it's out in the garage, but I ran just a little 2 by 2 inch square of this stuff, and I put the brick finger joints on the edge, and I just wanted to see what the texture would look like and if the finger joints would work. And when I ran two pieces, it lines up perfect, just like you would. Like this one isn't matched, but when you put them together, it's just like you would if you were building a brick building. And so I thought, okay, that's great. And I was using like some scrap gray filament that I had. So then after I saw how well that worked, I thought, okay, well, let me get serious about this. And I got a spool of this, which is called red brick filament. I know, catchy name, right? Uh, and I started printing off some walls and just drawing some stuff up. I go, well, let's see how it goes, and I just got going crazy with it because it just works so well. And it's all, I give credit all to the bamboo thing, because if you can draw it, that thing can print it. It's an amazing little printer.
Now, if I'm correct, that's 1/48 would be O scale. So that's the line L.
Yeah. In fact, Sean, you'd be proud of me. I found this and I printed this out.
Oh,
And it's, if I can get it, I can't ever get it the right way. There we go. But it's got all the different scales and what the numbers are. So 1 to 48 would be an O scale in model trains.
that's pretty cool.
But and I probably should, just so people can see what I'm going to be putting a video out, but it's nothing that's a big secret. Let me put a picture up of the building and people can see what I'm trying to do here. Where'd it go? Here we go. Stick it over here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, this is the building that I'm modeling up. And you can see it's an old school building. Notice it doesn't say high school or grade school or middle school or anything like that. It was, back in those days, there was grades 1 through 12 all in that building. And from side to side here is about 84 feet. It's this first floor is, you can tell the windows are right ground level, so there's a kind of like a half basement there. So it's three levels. From right here, this part that juts out across here is about 34 feet. And then each from right here out here is about 24 feet on each side. And then from here going back this way, it's about 42 feet. And of course, going across all the way across the back would be about 84 feet, I think it is. So it's been a fun project because that little bamboo printer if you saw on that piece, you saw there was this little recessed place where I'll be printing out these and putting those in. But all the windows and all these little decorative granite pieces, I guess they would be uh, cornerstones, keystones, whatever you call them. They're all going to be pushed in from the back. And I've already got a bunch of them printed out in some white because that's what I had. And I think I'm going to go back and redo them because the windows and doors and stuff will be white. In fact, this picture shows an old dark brown door, but in later years they were painted white. Uh, but for all the concrete stuff, I found I wanted something that looked more like concrete, so I found kind of a speckly marble filament, and it just happens to be made by the same company that I got the brick red stuff from. So I got a spool of that in. So I'm probably going to go back and, as I'm assembling this, reprint a lot of the stuff that I've already done in the white. But yeah, all that too. Just again, when the video comes out, you'll get the full scoop on this. But all of this I'm doing is all from pictures. The school was torn down in the around 1966 or 67. So the building's not there. It's just gone. In fact, you can look on Google Earth now, and you can see from the satellite shot. If you look close, you can still see when they tore the building down. They didn't bother digging out these big, huge footings, so you can see the outline of the building, and that's how I actually got some of the measurements, is by using the little measurement tool in Google Maps and clicking from that satellite view to get the estimates. And then the other way, you can look at the doors and the windows, and you can or if you can get a good enough picture where you can see the actual brick, you can count those and determine how big something is. Like if you want to say, well, what kind of size window is that? If you can zoom in and get to where you can see the bricks, you can just count those, and then it's a lot easier to estimate how big the windows are.
Just remember, though, back then, a 2x4 was literally 2x4, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't really know, I don't know for sure if a brick these days is the same as a brick in those days. It could be different. So my measurements could be totally off, but nobody will be able to prove it because the building's gone. But I simply Googled, size of a brick, and it's, 7 5/8 long by 2 1/4 tall by 3 5/8 deep. And then the average mortar joint is 3/8 to a ½ inch. So I thought, well, makes it real convenient if you say the brick's 7 5/8 and the mortar joint's 3/8, because then that makes it 8 inches from the start of one brick to the start of the next brick. So that's what I went with. And,
that's pretty slick, though.
Yeah.
That's a cool approach.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I have been wanting to do this project for a long time, and I originally thought I would do it once I got that big 80-watt CO2 laser. I was going to engrave the stuff, and I've actually made a model of my childhood home and my garage, or my parents' garage, where I had my basketball goal on the front of the garage. But I just wasn't happy with them out of wood. If you use the 6 mil or the 1/4 inch wood, it's really too thick and it doesn't look right. And then if you use the thinner stuff, it warps and it's hard to work with. So I just kind of given up on that project. And then when I splurged and bit the bullet, and it's all Ryan's fault for showing, one, he did the unboxing of his P1S, and then a few weeks ago when he showed that Macy makes, and I started watching her channel, and I saw how easy she was making all this stuff look on using her P1Ss with the AMS on it and stuff. And I'm like, man, I really don't need to be spending any money, but I want to get one of those. So when I finally got it, and then I did that little test, I'm like, okay, I'm hooked. Building projects back on. We're going.
That is so
So,
cool.
so that should keep me out of trouble these days because I've got a list of buildings that I want to model.
Now, are you going to do them all in 148?
Um, well, here's the thing. Like I said, I'm drawing them full scale,
Mm-hmm. So you can scale them
and
to
I'm
whatever.
scaling them at Bamboo Labs. So, in fact, if I really think that this one is going to turn out really nice, and I'd like to go even bigger instead of going smaller for like train stuff. I'd like to go bigger,
Well,
but
there is G scale.
the problem with going bigger is I'm already having to on a couple of walls, like a 42-inch wall. If you do the math in 1 to 48 scale, it comes out about 10.5 inches wide. Well, that has a 10, roughly 10 by 10, or it's 256 by 256 by 256 millimeters, which is roughly 10 inches, just a hair over 10 inches. So there's really three walls, the two side walls and the very back wall, because it's one long strip. I had to splice the two side walls, and then I'm having to put three pieces to make up the back wall. But the nice thing about it is, since I'm using these finger joints and I'm making all these the same, they all fit together. So when you make three pieces, you just butt them together. And what I'm doing is taking them upside down. I'm this is an angle, but I'm taking something about this thick, but it's just a flat piece, and then I'm putting some CA glue and just laying that splice plate on the back. And then, of course, since it's white, if I have any gaps, it'll just look like the mortar. Because once I put two of these together, because after I've done the mortar on this one, it looks good. But when you put another one here, you can tell where it,
Mhm.
because it's missing some mortar, because you can't, it gets in these fingers and you got to knock it out to get them stuck together good. So what I do is, after I get them glued together, I'll come back after sometime tomorrow probably and put another dab of that mortar stuff in there to squeeze it into those joints that I've got glued together. And then I don't think you'll be able to tell that it's spliced. So
Oh, it's looking awesome, Dave.
that's the plan anyway.
Now, personally, I'd like to know. I'd like to see a video on scaling. You know, when you're doing working with your Bamboo Labs, the best way to scale something from a certain size to the size you want.
Well, yeah, I'll probably touch on that a little bit, but I was watching a video. You probably know the guy. He's a train guy,
Mhm.
but I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and of course he might have been talking about resin printing, which I don't know anything about. But he was, but what he said didn't make any sense to me. He was saying that you can't draw something in a different scale and then scale it. He said you have to draw it in the scale that you want it to be, or it won't work. And that just confused me, because I'm thinking that doesn't make any sense. You should be able to draw it whatever you want and then scale it to whatever you want, as long as you're scaling it correctly. If you know what you're doing when you're scaling it. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's something about resin printing that's different but to me, size is size. If everything sizes and you're scaling X, Y, and Z, it shouldn't matter.
The
What
only thing I can think of is if you're scaling down to like in size, your walls, you might need to make them a little bit thicker. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, yeah, but maybe that's what he was talking about. I don't know, but I mean, as far as the size, that's why I said something like these buildings. I mean, you look at these bricks, you see how small they are, and that's 1 to 48.
Hmm.
So if I did them, even HO scale or N scale, they would be so dadgum tiny that I think by the time you put the spackling on here to fill in the mortar joints and then held it up, it would just look like it's all white because they'd be so close together. So, but unless you cheated and made the building size in scale, but did the bricks something like this, which that's what I see people do on YouTube all the time. They
Enlarged.
fudge and make the bricks bigger than what they're, because they'll have like a little figure of a man or something, and they're sitting there, and you look and you go, well, wait a minute. Based on that guy standing next to that wall, that brick is as big as his leg, So something's not right there.
No, that
Paul,
was.
you look like you're getting ready to.
Oh,
Let me.
it's a hanger.
Okay. Every time I do that, I just see a green blob, but I think everybody else can see.
Yeah, it's looking good. So talk about bridging.
Now, what is that?
I don't think you have audio, Paul.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There we go.
Well, it busted.
Oh no. Oh. That was some good bridging, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that looks cool.
Oh yeah.
so I got a new art piece. It was intentional, but that's how good that plate is. I didn't put that brim on. It's just, I went with their print profile. But this is that new cryo grip plate.
Which printer?
Bamboo.
Okay. Well, you have two of them.
Oh, yeah, this is the same, but Bamboo just released a similar one as well.
Okay.
Of theirs, but this was ByQ or something is the name of the brand. So I got the wrong one. They come in two. You can run this one at 45 to 55 with PLA, and PETG you can run it at 60 to 75.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one you can run at 30 to down at 30 for PLA.
Oh, cool.
And it'll stick. So a little too good apparently.
Now, Bamboo also has those really cool textured mats too, or build plates.
Oh yeah, I have that. This was people were saying because I'm going to start doing that TPU, so
Okay.
you can run the beds cooler and everything with that TPU on these. So and less adhesion issues.
Now, Paul, have you found that when you're running different filaments, you have to deviate at all from the settings that Bamboo already has in there?
Oh,
Or
I
you just,
I deviate all the time.
oh, do you?
Yeah.
I was going to say I've had good results, and I've used a bunch of, mostly PLA, but it's different brands and stuff. And I just select the generic PLA for the AMS, and whatever it is, it is. And I haven't had any problems at all.
I've lowered my hot end because it always wants to put it at 220 for the Bamboo PLA mat, and I'm running that at like 208, and then it only wants to run the textured bed at 45, but I was having adhesion, so I always had to use to run that at 55 to get in the adhesion on their PEI textured plate. So that's why I went and got these cryo grip plates. Try to see if there was anything different with those.
Yeah, I mean that's why I said Bamboo to me just they really got it right because I'm using their stock PEI plate and
Yeah.
no glue stick, no hairspray, no nothing. And I mean it just works. Everything stays on. You grab it, pop it, pops right off. I mean it's amazing. I've had no issues at all with that thing.
No, mine. I use alcohol. You just wipe it down, clean it off, and that's it.
Yeah.
This,
Well, I did notice when I was running something wide the other day, and I noticed it was starting to lift up on that end, and I'm like, well, it's probably I hadn't cleaned it at all since I got it, so I stopped it, pulled that off, threw it out, and got some alcohol and wiped it off and put it back, started again, and that must have been what my greasy fingers or something from got on there, but it's just been a fantastic little machine. I would highly, I'm not affiliated with Bamboo at all, but I would highly recommend to anybody that's in the market for a really good user friendly printer, get that thing because it's
well,
it's making me look like I know what I'm doing.
if you
And,
can't afford a P1S or a carbine or what's the large,
X1.
X1C or
yeah, there's always the A1. And you know what? The results that I've been getting out, well, both of these, both Creality and the Bamboo, it's just amazing.
well, I
well, see,
mean,
that's originally what I was thinking about doing because I'm thinking, these old enders, I need to get something a little better. And that's kind of what I was thinking is the A1. And I wasn't even going to get the AMS thing with it.
Mm.
But then that dadgum Ryan, started showing that all these videos with these people using these P1Ss, and I'm like, and the more I started watching unboxings and all that stuff, I'm like, heck yeah, get in a closed one and
Go
you
for it.
know get the AMS. And I've only done a couple of things that where I've even used the AMS, and they're not even that fancy. I've redone some of the ornaments
Oh, that turned out nice.
uh, that I did on the laser, last year or whenever it was, year before last or whatever. But yeah, it's just amazing little machine.
and the A1, doesn't it have the same build plate as the P1S? It's still
Same size,
256.
yeah,
It's just not enclosed, and you got a bed slinger versus core.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think the A1, the P1P, and the P1S and X1C, I think all of them are the same size. They're just,
Just
little. Each one's a little fancier than the other one.
Together.
We are
But
over an hour.
yeah, I guess we've tried to get Ryan enough watch time. We can probably go home now.
Hey, we're all good at BSing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan kind of guides us along,
Yeah.
keeps us under control.
yeah. Steve says, whoops, there it is. Love my A1 and A1 Mini. I'm trying to resist upgrading to the P1S.
Don't
Just
resist.
yeah, resistance is futile.
Well, there we go.
Go ahead and pull the trigger. You won't regret it. I
They're all
guarantee you.
good. They're all good.
The P1S is just a little noisier, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's if I had to, find something that I didn't like about it, that would be it. It is noisy. But when you think about how fast that Joker moves,
It's
I
not
can I
noisy.
can deal with the noise. And the nice thing is, and you see the printer, it's right behind me here. And then I have right here, I got 3 monitors, so I always open up Bamboo right here on this one. And I will sit here and be drawing stuff in Design Spark Mechanical on the monitor right in front of me. I'll open up Bamboo after I've got my STL and scaled and everything, and I fire it up. I tell it what color I want, and I hit go. And I just sit here and keep working, and I don't even turn around and look at it. It just works. That's all you can say about it. It just works. Yeah. Or sometimes I've done this too, where I get up in the morning and I poke my head in here and I'll turn this on if I've turned it off at night, and then I'll go sit in there and drink my coffee, and I'll be sitting in the recliner and just pull up the handy app and go, oh yeah, let's run another one of those. Boom. It's like, and then, I don't even come in there and check on it. You just look at the little camera every once in a while and go, okay, yeah, let's doing it. So
Next, you need to get a riser and a PHS for the bottom, a poo handling system.
well, I've got I don't know if you can see it, Paul. Oh, I just broke it trying to pick it up. This is the big poop chute, and I have never emptied it, and it's still not even close to being full. And then up here, I did print out one of those risers.
See, Dave? And it goes,
Okay.
but it puts it all.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Since we're all showing off our poop shoots,
We've gone there.
see, I don't know. Is it as snazzy as that one? It might not be big, but
It's fancy though.
oh yeah, had to dress her up.
Oh,
Yeah, nothing like a fancy poop chute, huh?
Now the guy who designed that did make one for the A1.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, so it goes down the side like that, but then it poops it out into a just like that, but goes underneath.
I'll check that one out. I kind of like that one. It's cool.
Oh yeah. I'm just
Well, the reason I picked the one I did is, it comes out and then it slopes so that it comes around to the side. Because I figured if I had one in the back, or maybe even something like what you've got where it's underneath and you don't see it, I'd forget about it. And next thing you know, you go to pull it out and you can't get it open because it's so full.
Well, on this one, he designed it though, so the deal doesn't come all the way up. So, it's not hitting it. So if it gets backed up, it'll overflow out and onto the ground before it'll overflow and back up into the machine.
Okay. Well, that's good. As long as it goes somewhere other than back up in to clog something up.
So because that happened with the Star Trek Cup, the first one I ran, my poo collector backed up, got constipated and jammed my machine. So that's, I'd been looking for a solution since then, besides just printing something bigger like yours, because I think I had the medium size kind of one. And
yeah, that's that orange poop chute. That's the second thing I printed. I printed the benchy and then that. Because I knew the way these things work. I've always watched all these videos and everybody's talking about how much poop there is. And I'm like, well, I don't want to mess on the floor or nothing back there. So that was the second thing I printed.
So you potty trained it right away.
Yeah. It's and I can't believe I just broke it because it's so thin wall, but it's not going to hurt anything. I put a piece of tape on it or something. But yeah, it's really thin walled, but works good, I guess. Now, occasionally mine, I don't know if yours does this, but mine will, when it's knocking that off, it'll fall down inside the machine. I've had that happen.
So they make little wipers, where that bobblehead
thing.
Yeah, that arm thing is. They actually have something goes kind of up and to the right just a little bit, and then you can print and insert around that chute up there, and then it's like a rubber mat almost. So when the head goes across, and it'll keep the poop from going into the machine.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, we have been at it here almost an hour and a half now. Ryan didn't tell me how long I had to BS. He just said I needed to BS. So.
And you were worried about not having anything to talk about.
Yeah. Well, y'all get me started talking about something I'm doing, and That's a
Well, you know
whole
what?
lot.
It's good timing because I started that just before the show and it just finished.
Set your 3D printer timer.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and start looking for the right button to push to get out of here. He doesn't have an outro, does he?
No.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
but real quick before we go, Chris and Claire. Yes, I want to build a snowman. There. Sorry.
Let's see if there's any comments.
There we go. There's a couple good ones.
Steve says his laser job has 1% left. We can stretch it out. I guess we need to talk another 1% worth. That's funny. Earl says he put a little riser with LEDs lights much brighter inside to see it. Yeah, I've seen some guys put the LEDs. Now I printed the riser out, and really the main reason I wanted the riser was to be able to slide the top, instead of putting it on the top, you have that little shelf here so you can get some
Airflow.
ventilation when you're running the PLA and stuff. And that's pretty much where I leave it like that. If I ever run something where I need to keep it closed, I'll probably forget to lower that. But I haven't really worried about the lights because I don't watch it. I don't even look at it. I wait until I get the little thing on my phone to say, "Hey, it's done. Go get it." So I haven't really worried about lights.
Well, one of the nice thing about lights is if you're using those black plates or those carbon fiber decal ones, and then you printing black on top of it.
Yeah,
just making sure that first layer, those lights are because I have the lights on mine, and they also help with your time lapse.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, I guess since Ryan doesn't have an outro, we'll just get ready to say goodnight and hit the end broadcast button or whatever. Does anybody want to plug anything or talk about anything before we get out of here?
Start your entry into the Gatton Christmas Challenge.
Yeah.
Hint,
Good.
hint, hint, hint. Sean, hint, hint.
Okay. You know what, guys? Somebody needs to give me a little idea. I'm out of ideas this year.
Well, last year you did a cool one. You had the little train running around the tree or something, right?
Yeah.
Actually, something just popped into mind. So we'll see.
See, there you go. There you go.
I do want to. It was a fun show. Ryan, I hope everything's going good with Ryan. Bless Ranger. Yeah. We'll see him next week.
Oh yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah.
And you won't have to put up with me next week.
Oh, that's fine.
So, well, hopefully, like I said, we got Ryan a little watch time. Keep him on the. I think I don't know. I haven't asked him lately, but I know he was getting kind of close to that 4,000 hours. So I'm like, well, you don't need to miss a week. If you need to get somebody to fill in for you or something to get the watch time on it. So, and I'm happy to do that anytime. Unless Alabama's playing at night, and they're not. They played earlier today, so I don't care about the games.
They're not as highly rated as they usually are they?
Nah. They're the Nick Saban era is over.
Over. That's like the Michigan team. It's terrible this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting playoff thing. The way they've added, 12 teams and stuff like that. It should be interesting. So
And I just realized, or I looked up the other day, and the Big Ten has 18 teams in it now.
yeah, kind of. It seems a little silly, doesn't it? Called the Big
It,
Ten, and it's
yeah,
18 teams.
yeah.
Uh, oh well, it's like everybody's in that or the SEC. So
Oh, did that
um,
just come off the printer?
Yeah, more containers.
oh, okay.
We're gonna make a container yard now.
One of my modules actually has a container ship on it.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
Yeah,
you got to make a bunch of them to fill that thing up, don't you?
Yeah,
they're still getting there. Now it's the yard.
yeah. Make the yard and stack them things up 10, 12 high with a crane and all that
There
stuff.
you go.
Oh, dude. Okay, food. Here's some thought. Okay, so when you watch it, I don't know how much you guys watch the trains. Like I always have to go on here, and every once in a while you'll see an intermodal go through, like a Prime. You know, the dark blue with the Prime, the little smiley logo. The back doors are open,
No kidding.
and you can see somebody broke into the container, and you can see kind of the stock that goes in. It'd be fun to have one of these with the open door. And you can see some.
Oh, it would be. Yeah. You know, really, that's kind of dumb to paint them with prime on them.
Oh, yeah, it's a giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently in California, they were really hitting them hard.
Yeah, I saw that on the news the other day. They're hauling
Our,
junk out of them.
our prime drivers go through our area with the side door wide open all the time and the back doors open all the time. And they just stop at a house and they go running, and the truck's sitting there running and wide open. And you think, boy, that's
That's a safe area.
yeah, it may be safe, but that's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get on out of here. I hope everybody out there uh, enjoyed tonight's BS session. Um, Thanks for sticking around. And I guess we'll get on out of here. And Ryan will be back next week. So until then, y'all have a great weekend. Good night, everybody.
Have
Peace
a
out.
good one.
Bye.
Yeah, there you go.